Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 20, text 1, chapter titled Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. Shaunaka Uvacha Mahim Pratishtamadhyasya Saute Swayambhuvo Manu Kani Anvatishtadvarani Margaya Varajanmanam. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Shaunaka inquired, O Suta Goswami, after the earth was again situated in its orbit, what did Swayambhuva Manu do to show the path of liberation to persons who were to take birth later on? Purport. The appearance of the Lord as the first born incarnation during this time of Swayambhuva Manu, whereas the present age is in the period of Vaivasvata Manu. Each Manu's period lasts 72 times the cycle of 4 yugas, and one cycle of ages equal 4,320,000 solar years. Thus, 4,320,000 into 72 years is a reign of one Manu. In each Manu's period, there are many changes in many ways, and there are 14 Manus within one day of Brahma. It is understood here that Manu creates scriptural regulations for the salvation of conditioned souls who come to the material world for material enjoyment. The Lord is so kind that any soul who wants to enjoy in the material world, he is given full facility for enjoyment. At the same time, he is shown the path of salvation. Shaunaka Rishi therefore inquired from Suta Goswami, what did Swayambhuva Manu do after reinstatement of earth in its orbital situation? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So after killing Hiranyaksha and placing the planet, the boar incarnation, after placing the planet in its orbit, yes, Shaunaka Rishi is inquiring from Suta Goswami what happened after that. How did Swayambhuva Manu rule this world, especially the people who were all born later on, with respect to showing the path of liberation. So, Prabhupada explains the universal time scale in this purport, how there are 14 Manus, Manvantaras also. Manvantara is a period of the Manu, and each Manu's period lasts for 72 times the cycle of 4 yugas. That is one Mahayuga. 72 times Mahayuga, which is calculated here by Prabhupada. And like that there are 72 Manus. Each Manu, during his period, they create scriptural regulations for the salvation of human being, conditioned souls. And of course, he creates this on the inspiration of the Supreme Lord, because ultimately it is the Lord's arrangement to create a world for those living entities who wants to be independent and wants to enjoy in this material world. And he gives full facility of enjoyment in this material world. Though it is temporary, he gives full facility. In this material world, so many things which are very, very attractive. Now we have not seen all the things which are very attractive. Let's say this is God's creation, and therefore let's say that if the Lord has to be perfect, His creation also has to be perfect, isn't it? Lord is perfect, His creation is also perfect. This material creation of the Lord is nothing but a imitation of all the wonderful things in the spiritual world. Even though normally we say this material world, everything is transient, everything is illusory, so we undervalue it. But the fact is that everything is temporary and everything is illusory. Illusion has to be, for a good illusion, for something to be a good illusion, it has to be as attractive as original. This point should be noted. In the material world, there are things that are as attractive as original in the spiritual world. All rasas are there, as attractive as. Just like an imitation gold, if it is perfect imitation, it will be as attractive as original gold. Then only there is perfection in creating illusion. So one should never say in the material world nothing is attractive. No, no. In your circumstances, due to your bad karma, it may not be, you may not encounter attractive things. If you have good karma, or the heavenly planets, everything, you will see everything is very attractive. Why is that so? Because Lord has created. If you want to enjoy, you enjoy without me. The material world. But it will be illusory. Experientially, you may see beauty in this material world. But existentially, there is no beauty in this material world. In the spiritual world, experientially and existentially it exists. Existential means it is eternal. Everything there in the spiritual world, everything attractive is eternal. So the principle in life that everything that should be attractive, anything that is attractive, I should get attracted. That is wrong. That is not a spiritual principle. There will be so many attractive things. And attraction is always towards enjoyment. After attraction, then there is enjoyment. So the material world is full of illusory opportunities. That is why it is very difficult to come out of this trap. Very difficult to come out of this trap. Only devotees who engage in devotion service of the Lord can come out of this trap. The senses cannot be controlled, ultimately. Today you may control because the attraction is a low level, it has come and hit you. When it comes at a high level and attracts, if your principle is to get attracted, you will get attracted. So in devotional service, we are given the secret that we have to replace all this attraction by attraction to Krishna. Krishna is really attractive, existentially attractive. Now in the material world, we are seeing attraction as an experience. Attractive, something is attractive as an experience only, but it is really not attractive. That is the definition of illusion. Because illusion has to imitate reality. So Vaishnavas understand that this is a world created by the Lord with things which are, it's so vast, this expanse, this material universe is. With so many varieties of enjoyments that are possible. But according to law of karma, because you are independent, you have to earn your own things. So material world is created with all these kind of things. And the philosophy of Krishna consciousness is to get detached from these illusory attractions and get attracted to the real attractive things. Which means, now for instance we say, okay, Krishna is all attractive. Now one may say that, okay, in the material world I can directly experience some beauty. But now Krishna is said to be, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham, very beautiful. But I cannot experience it. So this is more, right now there is more reality for me than that. Logic is right. But unless one wants truth, absolute truth, if that is not our guiding principle, then this logic will floor us. So what is now the truth is that Krishna is, I may not be experiencing now, but existentially I can feel, it's a truth feeling, that is called Shraddha, is a faith. Oh my God, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham, the Shastra says, faith. So what you are not experiencing now, there is a faculty given to us called Shraddha, faith. And from the perfect source we are getting all these things, these scriptures. So there is plenty of existential truth available for us to feel faith about it, develop faith in that. So it's like here, now we are attracted to material beauties, material attraction, money, wealth, this, beauty, knowledge, fame, power and all those kind of things. We're attracted on side. We have to detach from the illusion by understanding the tattva, by love for truth. And unless you cross that love for truth, by Shraddha, you cannot start experiencing the positive attraction. So, when we say the higher taste in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, it is not that one taste against the other taste, there is an equivalent taste. No. Higher taste meant it is a taste of truth. It is a taste for intellect. Taste of truth is a food for the intellect. It's a pleasure for the intellect. So taking intellectual pleasure on what is truth and seeing the illusion as it is, that intellectual pleasure is the first step of having a higher taste. And then action on that basis of devotion service to the Lord, it goes on, higher taste, various higher taste. And that is the reason why the transcendental knowledge is very important, and one should learn how to taste transcendental knowledge. Or one should learn how to be hungry for transcendental knowledge, descending process of knowledge. How, by mercy of Guru and Krishna, how I can understand all these things. If one wants to settle for transient illusory things, you jump from one object to another object, attraction, you search for one, bhoga tyaga, you enjoy and then you reject it, you go for another attractive thing, there is no end to it. And all these things are completely governed by the laws of nature, action and reaction is there. Not that you can freely roam around in this material world getting attracted and enjoying. You cannot. It is restricted by laws of karma. So the Vaishnava philosophy says that you stop getting attracted to these things, understand this tattva, this principle, that these are all imitative, perverted reflection of the real attraction in the spiritual world. And our nature is to get attracted. And we have to start getting attracted to transcendental knowledge, then transcendental leelas, then transcendental, so many things, of qualities of the Lord, His name, His form, His deities, and that is what we are actually practicing in Krishna consciousness, which is, if you look at it, from the number of living entities in this universe, and how many varieties of enjoyment is provided by the Lord, it is very difficult. It's like finding a pin in a haystack. What is that? This pin called devotional service in this material world. The entire material world, nobody is bothered about devotion, everybody is bothered only about karma. That is the world of karma. And in that, little few jivas get an opportunity to, like a needle in the haystack, they get the opportunity to understand this devotional service, which is even beyond liberation. So this Bhagavat Katha, this Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami explains, is the essence of how this human form of life can be used, need not be used, can be used to transcend the three modes of material nature and go and experience the higher attraction and have a life which is our constitutionally original life. So this is Lord's way of doing things. Our tiny brain cannot even grasp. Nobody can. That's why even the most intelligent person cannot answer the question, what is the purpose of creation, what is the purpose of life? No clue. That clue can only come as a descending process, because his mind is tiny. He may say, oh, this is a purpose, that is a purpose. What? He will have a purpose of his own life. Okay, I am born for this. He thinks that is a purpose. To be an artist is my purpose. I say, what is the purpose? You die as an artist, then what? What is the purpose of life? Nobody can get this, because this can be got only by descending process of knowledge. And now we understand what is the purpose of life, why God has created this material world, how Lord is, dominating, predominant being in every situation. He is the one who is providing all this opportunity for jivas. And the material energy, the false ego, how we are trapped in the false ego, all these things are very rare knowledge. But that devotion service itself is a very rare knowledge. So by hearing the whole Bhagavatam, you get the whole universal time scale. What is this Manvantara, what is Brahma's years, and it's all nothing. It's only again one kshana in Mahavishnu's breathing. What is all this? Huh? Then you understand relativity of time, relativity of space, relativity of substances. And where is the absolute Lord? And He is there in our heart. And He is directly in connection with each living entity. That is the saving grace. Whether we have forgotten Him or whether not forgotten Him, the Lord is always with us. Whether we want to be karmis also, you can be karmis only by the mercy of the Lord. It is only by the mercy of the Lord the karmi is able to enjoy his senses in this material world. Any questions? Jai Gurundarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.